Good Thursday morning to you. Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Michelle Beck. Our weather team has issued a KARE 11 weather impact alert with rapid changes expected in the forecast. Right now, we are experiencing the warmest weather we've seen all month, but with rain falling this morning and a 40-degree temperature drop on the way, your evening commute could be slick. We'll check in with the weather team in just a little bit. Checking back in on breaking news in St. Paul. Right now, crews are investigating a house fire in the Payne-Phelan neighborhood overnight off Cook Avenue East. This was the scene around 1 a.m. Crews lining the street there. The front of the house badly burned. Now, we have reached out to the fire department to see if anybody was inside or hurt, but have not heard back. We'll update you as soon as we know more. And this morning, ice has been in Minnesota for more than 2 weeks with no end in sight. Now, the ACLU, on behalf of 6 Minnesotans, is suing ICE for allegedly violating the First and Fourth Amendment rights of protesters and observers. The ACLU claiming in Minnesota, ICE and other federal agents have followed protesters to their homes, used rubber bullets on them, and arrested people for standing on public sidewalks to observe. The plaintiffs now ask an independent court to say such actions are unlawful and permanently stop them. Susan Tincher, who's included in the suit, says she was detained while watching federal activity in her Minneapolis neighborhood.
I was on a public street. I did not cross any line or interfere with anything. Within seconds, officers rushed me, grabbed me, and slammed me face first into the snow. I yelled for help because I didn't know if anyone would ever see me again.
The ACLU also plans to file a temporary restraining order against ICE in efforts to lay the foundation for a class action suit. ICE has not responded to our requests for comment. Happening today, students at Woodbury High School will walk out in protest against ICE. They're among many students statewide organizing walkouts this week. Just yesterday, teens filed out of Harding High School in St. Paul to protest the impact of ICE in Minnesota. Organizers say they want to show solidarity with the community and raise awareness about how the raids are impacting local families and education. It's been nearly a week in the manhunt for the gunman in the Brown University shooting. Investigators are now looking for a second person police say was in proximity of the person of interest. NBC's Erin McLaughlin in Providence, Rhode Island, now with the latest.
Hey there. Well, we're 5 days in and still no suspect. Authorities once again appealing to the public for help. This time they want more information about a new individual that they say was seen in close proximity with the person of interest that is at the heart of this investigation. The two were seen in close proximity the hours prior to the attack. We don't know much more than that. They did put out some surveillance images of this new individual wearing a hoodie and a jacket. You can more clearly see this individual's face. This as the university comes under scrutiny about its security arrangements. Behind me, you see the building where the attack took place. Lots of questions this morning about the cameras inside that building. Now you see the modern portion of the building behind me. That portion of the building, authorities say, has cameras. Behind that is the older part of the building. That's the part of the building that does not have cameras. That's where the attack took place. The Attorney General says that had the gunman entered the modern part of the building, their face would have been caught on camera and he'd likely be in custody by now. Brown University in a statement says they are going to review all security arrangements on campus. Back to you.
A check of Wall Street this morning. We are in the green as the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports inflation fell in November. According to the Bureau, inflation was at 2.7% last month, a good sign for consumers. However, that data was collected later than normal and could include holiday discounts in the final figure. The discounted prices would have brought prices overall down regardless. Today's data was the first published since the historic government shutdown that ended last month. It also shows the biggest drops in prices were on food and shelter, which accounts for both rent and mortgages. President Trump spoke to the nation last night, touting his administration's accomplishments, particularly on the economy, amid growing voter frustrations over the cost of living. NBC's Alice Barr has details from Washington on how the president made his case.
Hi there. We're nearly 1 year in now to President Trump's second term, and he argued he's still fixing economic challenges he inherited, adamant his policies are working, though many Americans say they're struggling. President Trump turning to a primetime address to talk up his year one accomplishments at a time when polls show a majority of Americans let down by the state of the economy and the cost of living.
I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast.
The president pinning the blame for persistently high prices on former President Biden, adamant that his policies are working and will bring more relief in the new year.
I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it.
President Trump touted revenue from his global tariffs and announced he's directing some of it toward warrior dividend holiday bonuses for military service members.
In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776.
Though it's Congress's job to decide how tariff revenues are spent, and as lawmakers struggle to reach agreement on bringing down health care costs, with Obamacare subsidies now set to expire in 2 weeks, sending premiums soaring, President Trump again pushed to send money directly to Americans' health savings accounts.
The money should go to the people.
The president also highlighting his immigration crackdown.
And we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country.
And saying his administration's targeting of alleged drug boats in the Caribbean has driven down dangerous drugs entering the U.S. He did not mention the potential for military conflict with Venezuela, amid mounting calls for transparency and questions from lawmakers in both parties about the campaign's ultimate goals. On that health care fight, 4 Republicans joined Democrats in signing a petition to force a vote on extending Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years, though the vote is not expected to happen until next month, after the premium increases have already taken hold. In Washington, I'm Alice Barr. Back to you.
This morning, a clean slate for Hamline professor and community activist Jason Soule. Minnesota's Board of Pardons granting Soule's request to wipe his record clean. More than 20 years ago, Soule became a convicted felon charged with possession of a firearm in 1997 and 2 drug possession charges, the last one in 2005. After serving his time, Soule turned his life around. The 47-year-old saying besides the day he married his wife and the birth of his kids, receiving a pardon is one of the best days of his life.
I'm grateful to have that weight off my shoulder where I can go out and, be somebody in the room who got the cleanest record now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be insane.
He says one of his missions now is to help other people navigate the pardon process. Back in 2021, he went before the Board of Pardons and was denied that first time. He wants to make sure others who feel they deserve a second chance understand the process to receiving one. It is the final push for our Toys for Tots drive here at KARE 11, collecting toys for kids here in the Twin Cities community. And you still have time to help out. Audra Russo is here this morning with what's needed.
On this final Toys for Tots collection day, I want you to think about what the teenager in your life wants for Christmas. Get that in your head, and I'm sorry if it's a Labubu because they are a little creepy looking, but whatever that is, bring it down to our tent here at the KARE 11 studios starting at 8 o'clock this morning. The Marines tell us they are specifically looking for toys in this age group, and they say their warehouse actually ran out and they had to send the Marines on a super secret shopping trip to restock. So that's what's needed. Think ages 11 to 15. But let's talk about some of the other awesome groups that we've met so far this year. First and foremost, let's go to Hastings. That is where you can find Little Shop of Treasures. They got 200 Funko Pops from an anonymous donor that they then donated to Toys for Tots. And that rocks because those are pretty popular with older kids. We also have the Fast Pitch Traveling Softball Club. Now, they collected 3,000 toys in memories of a former teammate, Lexi Kresh, and the Minneapolis Police Department continued their program of teaming up with the Marines to play Santa, making direct toy deliveries to the families that they serve each and every day. So let's talk about where we're at with this goal, because they have a goal of raising 230,000 toys for the season. Right now, at least as of Monday, we were at 94,000 toys, and you can see all donated by you. So thank you very much. You know, obviously we're not going to say no to surpassing that goal, but again, today is the last day, so you can come by the KARE 11 studios and drop off a new unwrapped toy. Back to you.
And if you would like to help, our crews are out from 8 this morning till 8 tonight. You can also give online. Just go to KARE11.com/toys4tots for more information. Stick with us. More news and weather are coming up after the break.